Where's Mama?
Do make haste. Has cook made pussycat stongues? Ah, yes. Some tea, Catty. Now, when Dr. Lovett arrives and I've made the tea, you may take a cup upstairs to Miss Christiana.
Yes, madam.
Miss Christiana.
Christiana? You shouldn't be out of your room, my dear.
Oh, but Mamma, I'm quite well today and Scamp hasn't been out.
Oh, Parsons can put him in the garden.
Oh, but Mamma, it's such a beautiful day.
No day is beautiful for an invalid, my dearest.
Well, not for a little while, just to the end of the road.
Oh, but Mrs. Boding's not here, and I have a visitor to tea and need Parsons.
Mamma.
Oh, Christiana, you're not going to have one of your upsets.
Oh, no, Mamma, I just hope, well, just this once.
Oh, very well. Fetch Hilda.
Yes,
but just for a minute and only to the end of the road.
Oh, thank you, Mamma.
I'm being foolish.
No, you're not. There's nothing wrong with me.
Come along, Hilda. You're to look after Miss Christiana. Only to the end of the road, remember.
He's done his duty, miss. We ought to get back.
Oh, please, not yet, Hilda.
Oh, it's not worth a row, miss.
Well, in Italy, they say the sun shines all the year. Do you know that, Hilda?
Please, come on, miss, please.
Very well. We'll go back the other way, right round the square.
Good day, Ma'am. Thank you. Morning, Ma'am.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Bartlett. We were just at Scam.
Oh, what is
Can I help you, Ma'am?
Hilda, quickly catch him. Oh, I'll catch him, miss.
Dear me.
She must catch him.
I'll catch him, miss, for an eightpenny.
Cut along, young un.
But I was only
Leave the
trying...
lady be. And stop that din or I'll call the constable.
Ah, there she is.
And caught more than the dog from the look of it.
Oh, it's Chrissy. This gentleman caught him.
Ah, there we are, ma'am. Safe and sound and no harm done. Glad to be of service.
Thank you, sir, for I'd never have caught him.
Not at all. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, miss.
Don't stare.
Isn't he handsome?
I didn't really notice. I wonder who he is.
I think he's Dr. Beard from West Crescent. Almost makes me wish I was ill.
He is certainly very...
A man, Mrs. Boding?
Oh, come, Mrs. Boding, are you sure?
My darling doesn't know a man.
Your mamma wants you, Miss Christiana, and you, Hilda.
Yes, Mamma? Oh, good afternoon, Dr. Lovett.
Christiana,
Shall I take care of this, Mrs. Edmonds?
no. Christiana, did you go beyond the end of the road despite your promise?
Yes, Mamma.
There, you see.
And I'm sure she was mistaken, but Mrs. Boding
I
was
saw you in conversation with a man.
Tell me it's not true, Chrissy.
Oh, but it wasn't so wicked, Mamma. You see, Scamp had...
It's the girl's fault.
No, it wasn't. Scamp ran away.
I'll deal with Hilda. Go and collect your things.
But Mrs. Boding,
You're
I only went to...
dismissed. Go and collect your things and wait by the back door.
Mamma, she only did what I told her.
She was responsible for you, dear.
But I'm a grown woman. I don't need anyone to be responsible.
Hilda isn't reliable. She must be punished.
You can't be punished.
You're too delicate.
Maybe the dog is bad for her. I'm not sure he should inhabit a sick room.
I'll take him.
Oh, no.
Give him to me.
No, please, please.
Him to me.
Oh, Scamp. It's too unkind. It's because you know I love him so much.
As your family doctor, Mrs. Edmonds, I think I should take care of this.
But I'm not ill. ill.
Go with Dr. Lovett, there's a good girl. He knows best.
But, Mama, you said I can't be punished.
We're not punishing you, my dear, just caring for you.
Oh, dear Papa, please help me. Mama does worry so. Do you think she needs a tonic?
It's you who needs medicine, my dear.
Oh, but not today. Today I feel in such excellent spirits.
Flushed cheeks, bright eyes, nervous breathing, rapid heartbeat. You could be on the verge of palpitations, my dear.
Please, Dr. Lovett, you said no punishment. You've taken scamp.
Medicine is no punishment. It is nature's gift. Now sit down and drink this. It's a good girl. Do as I say. Drink it. Well, now everything will be all right.
Goodbye, Miss Christiana. Miss Chris.
Girl? Where are you, girl?
What's this I hear? Lazy bones. Why aren't you up and dressed?
And the girl next door's laughing. I can't bear people laughing.
Laughter is a sign of poor breeding. The Queen never laughs. I shall do your hair.
I have a headache.
Don't mope, dear. An English lady is never sorry for herself. Oh, dear. I'd hoped the air would do you more good. They say nowhere's more beneficial than an English seaside resort for delicate people. Now, if you're up and dressed in 5 minutes, I may let you have scamp back, if you're a good girl.
Mrs. Boding.
I'll see to it. I'm used to your clumsiness. I've told your mother you should be in an empty room.
Why do you despise me so?
Your mamma will be heartbroken. Dr. Lovett gave it to her in Margate.
Margate was the last place, wasn't it? Why did we leave?
For the same reason that we left Broadstairs, Yarmouth and Cromer.
But it's only an ornament.
It means much more to me.
What is it to you?
It means your illness is returning.
No, but I have no illness.
Your mamma tries to hide from it, but I know it's coming back, that's certain. Just as it did at Broadstairs and Yarmouth and Cromer and Margate.
You're making it up. I'm not ill. I'm not ill.
Thank you, Miss Maxton.
Mama! My head! My poor head! It's the worst pain I've ever known.
We should have sent for Dr. Lovett. He's her physician.
We're so lucky you were next door, Dr. Beard.
And I lie quite still. You say you woke with a headache?
And my chest. That there's a pain in my chest.
Well, unbutton your nightgown.
Oh, Doctor, is it necessary to,
I've never heard such a heartbeat. It's as steady as a child's.
Oh, I'm so pleased. I was sure it was my heart.
I'll give you a prescription for the headache. Though a good brisk walk could probably do you more good. Here we are.
My head feels a little better already. Isn't that splendid, Mamma?
do up your chest, dear? Oh, stay with her, Parson.
Yes, madam. do hope I may see you again.
You have your own physician.
Yes, Dr. Lovett.
He's very well respected. You're in excellent hands. You also have a little dog.
Yes, I do.
It's the same, man.
Yes, I'm sure of it, Mrs. Edmonds. Strange that he should be next door when
Chance,
she thinks...
Mrs. Boding, pure chance. Oh, thank you for your help, Dr. Beard.
I didn't make a proper examination, but I suspect there's nothing much wrong with your daughter's health, though her state of mind is perhaps not quite all it should be.
Half a sovereign is sufficient.
She'd go out enough. She should, you know, in this beautiful weather. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you met Miss Edmonds before, Dr. Beard?
I don't think so. No, I think not.
Come along then, Scamp, and do stop crying, you silly doggy. Oh, don't let him jump on you, he'll be filthy. Oh, Chrissy, his paws. Now, dear, if you feel the slightest chill in the air, you ought to call out, and we'll bring you in at once.
Oh, do stop fussing, Mamma. I'm all right.
I'm here to fuss. It's what mothers are for. Now, where's my purse? Open? Huh. Oh, and if that giddy Miss Wagstaff tries to talk to you, you ought to have nothing to do with her. Such a silly creature can only upset my delicate little girl. Now remember, if you feel the slightest chill, you ought to call out.
I heard what she said.
Scamp! Scamp, dear, where are you? Scamp!
It's been an age. How have you been, my dear?
Oh, quite well, thank you, Miss Wagstaff. Scamp! Scamp?
My brother has a bad leg, so we've had the doctor in. I must say he's so handsome. They say he served with the military, and I believe he got a medal for bravery. What's that, my dear?
It's to...
Dr. Beard. Oh, Dr. Beard.
Oh, please post it for me, and here's a penny for the stamp.
Does your mamma know? How daring. Suppose they find out.
Oh, they mustn't.
Keep the penny. I'll give it to him when he calls.
Oh, thank you.
Scamp! Scamp! But how do you know him?
Oh, I've met him twice.
Yes, Mamma.
Who are you talking to? Come in at once. I don't want you catching anything.
Dr. Beard.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Beard. It's Miss Edmonds. No, I can't see her.
Mrs. Edmonds is resting, sir, and Mrs. Boding is out.
Well, I attended Miss Edmonds the other day. I must see if she's better.
But so you can't.
Well, now, is your head better?
Oh, yes, thank you, Doctor.
And why aren't you out in the sunshine, eh? Are you interested in medicine?
Well, I'm delicate. I rarely go out.
And the book?
Oh, I borrowed it from Cook. I thought I might find out what's wrong with me.
And have you?
No.
Well, perhaps there's nothing wrong with you. Miss Edmonds, why did you write to me? You must have friends, other people to whom you could write.
You think I'm lonely, don't you? Oh, I wish you were my doctor.
Told you, Dr. Lovett's an excellent man.
Yes, but he's Mamma's friend, not mine. He won't tell me what's wrong with me. He won't tell me why I'm a prisoner.
A prisoner?
Would you tell me if you knew?
I can't know without a thorough examination.
You may examine me.
I can't. It would be unethical, Miss Edmonds. You're not a prisoner.
Oh, but I am. People are kept away from me. I'm not allowed any friends, and I'm treated like an invalid.
From the medicine you've been prescribed, I would infer that you have bad nerves.
Oh, please find out, Doctor, for my own peace of mind. Examine me and find out and tell me, please. I needn't see you again.
I'm sorry, Miss Edmonds, I cannot. I am not your physician.
I'm sorry that I wrote to you. But you can't imagine what it's like to
Go on.
meet someone who doesn't look at you as though you're a leper.
Doctor, are you there?
One moment, Mrs. Edmonds. I enjoyed your letter.
You should have asked my permission, Doctor.
I apologize, ma'am. There's no charge for a second visit.
How rude of him. What did he want?
Oh, he merely asked after my headache. I said it was better and that he was not to call again.
You didn't like him?
I must put my trust in dear Dr. Lovett's experience.
How sensible. I shall take you and Scamp for a little walk.
Oh, not just now, dear Mamma. I mustn't overtax my strength.
No, of course not. How silly of me. There's Mrs. Boding. We'll say nothing of this to her.
Of course not, Mamma. Now, Scamp, a penny for the stamp. Yes.
I can't believe there was £1.5 pound of beef in that pudding.
You can believe it or not, there was. Best stewing.
Oh, do go away, Doc. 6 lemons?
I was to make Dr. Lovett an egg and lemon pie. Then she changed her mind. I still have the lemons.
Oh, do go away. All 6?
All 6. He wants to play.
Then you'd better find somebody who's got a little bit more time. I hope you realized when you ordered them that lamb cutlets are threepence each.
What have you got, Scampy? Give it to Bertha.
What have you got there?
The dog had it.
Give it to me.
Mrs. Boding?
Mrs. Evans, read this. Read it.
No, please. No, please, Mrs. Boding, please.
You see, Mrs. Edmonds, I was right. Her illness has returned.
I'm ashamed of you, Christiana. You know you shouldn't write to men.
No, I didn't say anything.
She must be corrected.
No.
No, we'd better wait for Dr.
The sooner the
Lovett.
better, madam. You know I'm right.
Oh, dear. I wish I understood these things a little better. I shall go downstairs and I don't understand these things.
Mamma, don't leave me.
I'll see to it, Mrs. Edmonds.
Be a good girl, Christiana. Mrs. Boding is your friend.
Mamma, come back. I'll do anything.
Her illness has returned. And with it her desires. She must be corrected, mustn't she? So that she knows what she's done, so that she shan't forget.
Please, let me
I'll
go.
let you go. Think that she should have secrets from me, her friend. She should write letters to men. Drink this.
No.
Drink it.
speech, Mrs. Boding?
Mrs. Boding's out to Chapelman.
Oh, dear. I can't go up. She should be here. She knows I can't manage. Christiana, you're a naughty girl. I think you want me to be an invalid, too. Christiana, what will Mrs. Boding say? Christiana. Chrissy, what's happened? Oh, my poor baby. She shouldn't tie you so tightly. She only does it in case you hurt yourself. You're so restless after your medicine, though she's cruel to be kind, and I couldn't manage without her. Chrissy, come back. Don't run away, darling. Chrissy! Chrissy, come back. Cook, Parsons, catch her. She mustn't leave me. Chrissy! Chrissy, please. Oh, bring her back. She must never leave me. Chrissy!
Is Dr. Gale? I must.
Miss Edmonds.
I've come to you. I had to.
What's the matter?
Oh, you're the only friend I have. Say you're my friend.
Oh, of course
Please
I
say
am,
you're
dear
my
lady.
friend. I've left them. I'm no longer a prisoner. I'm free. Oh, we're both free. I'll be safe with you. Safe.
Miss Edmonds. Miss Edmonds, I should like you to meet my wife.
How do you do, Miss Edmonds? Please pardon the interruption, but there's someone asking for Miss Edmonds. That'll be Mrs. Boding. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Are you all right?
Of course I am. I understand very well. Indeed, quite perfectly.
Yes, of course you do. I only hope you'll call on us more often.
And neither of us free. Come, Boding, it's getting late. You know, my dear, I've always said you're much too handsome for a doctor. Your bedside manner makes you far too attractive.
Oh, to run away like that. It's all so difficult for me, the worry of her all the time. I just want our lives to be pleasant, and I can't withstand these shocks. Oh, there she is. Chrissy, my darling, are you all right? Where have you been?
Oh, I expect Mrs. Boding will tell you all about it, Mamma.
Mrs. Boding, I will take care of her.
You tied her too tightly, Mrs. Boding. She was in agony.
Not tight enough. Do you know where she went? She went to see him.
Who?
Well, that doctor. And he's married.
Oh, well, that's surely a relief, isn't it? Yes, do you see, she went to see his wife.
Oh, you can think that if you like. I know better.
Well, perhaps she needs a woman friend, nearer her own age. We're too old for her, and you're too hard on her.
As hard as some would be, Mrs. Edmonds.
Well, she ran away because she was lonely and frightened. We're not enough for her, Mrs. Boding.
Christiana, let me in.
He's let her lock herself in.
Oh, well, perhaps you'd better leave her. She seemed quite calm to me.
Mamma was so pleased when I told her I was to visit you, Mrs. Beard. We don't know many people here yet, and none of my own age. Would you like some tea, Miss Edmonds? Oh, no, thank you. Though, dare I confess it, I'm hoping you'll offer me one of those chocolates. Oh, it was kind of you to bring them. Bartlett's, well, how delicious. They make all their own confectionery, don't they? I'm so sorry to have missed Dr. Beard. Oh, I'm all alone this afternoon. Not even a servant. I've loaned them to the church. They're helping with the fete. Oh, it's such a beautiful day. It's so nice to get out. Most of the time I have to look after Mamma. You must try one. They're really delicious.
Well, to tell you the truth,
No, I insist I should choose one for you here to please me.
No,
Open your
really,
mouth and close
thank
your
you,
eyes and
but,
see what the good Lord shall send you. And give it a good crunch.
Oh, horrible. Oh, it tasted bad. Oh, I swallowed some.
Horrible. For Bartlett's, it can't be. I find them most agreeable.
Oh, my throat.
Most agreeable.
Water. Could you get me some water, please?
Well, where will I find it, dear Mrs. Beard?
Oh, God, my stomach. Oh, God. Help me. Oh.
Come now, Mrs. Beard, you're making altogether too great a fuss. silly, wasn't she? Fancy not liking chocolates.
Mrs. Edmonds, I must speak to you.
Yes.
Well, this is very important.
Let him speak to you, Mamma.
I think, ma'am, I'd better speak to you and Miss Edmonds alone.
If it concerns a girl.
Oh, yes, Mamma, alone.
Very well, Dr. Baird.
Something very private he's come to say, I know it.
What have you come to say, Doctor?
It concerns my wife.
Please continue.
I'm afraid she's been poisoned.
Oh, dear, I'm so sorry.
That's impossible.
My wife is being poisoned, and I'm afraid it concerns you.
Really, Doctor, I don't see how...
I think someone who perhaps lost control of their emotions in a moment of great stress.
But who, Doctor? Have you any idea who it was?
Oh, yes.
But why should it concern me?
Because, ma'am, I believe the person in question is your daughter.
What do you mean? I've not seen your wife. You must be mad.
You called on her this afternoon with a gift of chocolates.
Oh, you must be mistaken. Christiana has no money.
The chocolate my wife ate was poisoned, with strychnine, I suspect.
You're wrong. How horrid. How can you think... How can you say such a terrible thing?
Because my wife told me.
But you said she was dead.
Fortunately, she swallowed very little. And even more fortunately, I arrived home in time to save her life.
Then she's...
His life? Oh, I am relieved. I'm so glad she escaped.
My wife also told me that your daughter...
She's a liar.
Did you visit her, Christiana?
No.
Oh, but you told me, dear. I mean, it's why I allowed you to go out.
You took the chocolates away with you, Miss Edmonds.
And do you have chocolates, Christiana? Please tell your mother the truth.
No, Mamma, I hate them. You know I do. Oh, really, Dr. Beard, I can't think why you've come to persecute me in this way. I'm sorry if your wife is indisposed, but it's nothing to do with me.
When I first met you, Miss Edmonds, I felt sorry for you. I thought you needed help. I even thought you were some kind of prisoner in this house.
Oh, but I am.
I realize now that I was wrong. I also realize, Mrs. Edmonds, that your daughter needs more urgent help than I at first suspected. I shall not tell the police. That would benefit no one. But I do beg you to inform Dr. Lovett of everything that has happened. I feel very sorry for you, Mrs. Edmonds. And for you, Miss Edmonds.
Dr. Beard, I feel sure you're mistaken.
Oh, yes, Dr. Beard, you are.
I think not. Dear Mum.
Oh, no, you don't mean it. You love me. You know you do. You don't love her. You said when we were free, when we were both free. No, please don't leave me. Take me with you.
Oh, Chrissy. Please tell me it wasn't true.
You said yourself that money was missing from your purse.
He does love me, Mamma. Come back. Didn't mean what he said.
Every word that Dr. Beard said was true, Mrs. Edmonds.
He'll come back and apologize for the dreadful... He must apologize. He must see what a cruel mistake he's made. On his bended knees, he'll beg my forgiveness.
You see, I did warn
I'll
you.
make him grovel at my feet.
My dear Mrs.
If he doesn't, I'll go mad. Mad, mad.
Chrissy!
You can't go mad. You're mad already.
What does she mean, that hired servant?
She's right, Chrissy.
Oh, no, you wait and see. He'll come back, weeping to ask my forgiveness.
Sometimes you're worse than at others, and I thought you were getting better.
Just as he did at Broadstairs and Yarmouth and Cromer and Margate. Oh, don't forget Margate. That is why we drug you and tie you up and lock you in your room, because you're the same as your father was, and your brother, and all the rest of your family.
What is she saying, Mamma? What does she mean?
She means you're mad, my dear, as they were mad.
From,
Oh, Mrs. Boding, it's not from Dr. Beard.
Oh, no. The postmark is
Weymouth? Oh, then you may open it. Oh, dear, I hate going out and leaving her.
Mrs. Evans, you must have a breath of fresh air, otherwise you'll be ill. Dear madam, thank you for yours of the 17th. The house is just as described, and I can meet your request for possession on the 1st of the month if required. Oh. You will find Weymouth most salubrious for your daughter's health.
Weymouth? I suppose Weymouth's quite a nice place. I'm not yet sure that I shall move. Dr. Lovett will be so far away, and she's been so much better.
Dr. Beard wouldn't agree with you on that.
But after all, she's had a nice long sleep.
3 days.
We should let that wee dog out.
So she has now. Will you give me a pair of shoes to go out in the snow, You shouldn't be out like that. My dear, you don't look yourself.
Oh, I wondered how your brother is.
Dr. Beard may let him walk again this afternoon. He's done wonders. I wonder you don't have him as your doctor.
Dr. Beard will be here this afternoon.
Any minute. Oh, you look so pale, dear. They ought to let you sit in the garden.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Wagstaff.
Miss Ducal.
That's it. Splendid. Oh, well done, young man. We'll have you playing football in no time.
Oh, Doctor, he's so much better.
Now go inside and show your mother. They're right behind you.
Dr. Beard.
Now take your time, take your time.
Dr. Beard, please, I must speak to you.
But now, will you, please?
No, please, I beg you. Just one moment. I've so much to say to you.
I'm sorry, Miss Edmonds. I have patients waiting for me.
I'm waiting for you. I've waited for days. You haven't visited or written, and I've nearly gone mad. Why haven't you written?
Please understand that I can't write to you or see you. There's nothing I can do.
No, please don't leave me. I didn't do anything. No, you must believe me. Don't leave me here. I didn't do what you say. Why won't you believe me? No. Don't go. Don't go. I didn't do it. How can I prove it? How can I prove it?
What in the world are you doing, miss?
Shouldn't be down here, miss.
Shut her in.
Lock me in, tie me up, dose me, I don't care, so long as I can prove to him.
She started.
Oh, my gracious!
If she's having a turn, you'll go straight and fetch Mrs. Boding.
Oh, my poor darling, my poor angel.
What is it, Miss
Oh,
Chrissy?
Bertha Scamp, he's hurt himself and he won't come out.
Oh, has he hurt himself?
No, I was sitting in his leg.
What a front one! Oh, it's broke.
Oh, it can't be.
broke his little leg, or I'm a
Oh, he
Dutchman.
must go to the veterinary surgeon. I must take him at once.
How would he do that?
What do we do? I'll take him. I'm ready and you're not.
You stay here. Miss Parsons will take
Yes,
him.
I'm sure it'll be all right. It must be my poor little skunk. He'll soon be better.
Well, they'll go mad if they find we've let her go. We'll get the
Don't
sack.
stand there trying to stop her. And if not, you'd better go and tell them.
Miss Chrissy! Miss Chrissy! Please come back! Miss Chrissy! Miss Chrissy!
Dear miss, where's your little dog?
Dog? What? Dog? I have no dog. Oh, little boy, would you like to earn a penny?
Well, what for?
I just want you to take this bag. No, don't open it. They're chocolates, but if you eat one, I shall be very cross. No, just take them to the shop and ask the gentleman to change them. You see, I don't like large chocolate creams. I want the smaller ones. You understand?
Of course I do.
Tea, coffee, dozen green corn. Now, let me see. What do you want?
The lady said change them because she wants the little ones, not the big ones.
Right then. Let's see what we can do. There you are, young man. Now, madam, you wanted some muffins, I believe.
Yes, please, Mr. Bartlett. A dozen of your fresh.
Stop that racket! How's dear little Miss Charlotte today?
Where have you been?
Christiana?
I asked you a question.
Oh, speak when you're spoken to, Mrs. Boding. Remember, you're only the housekeeper here.
Darling, I've been so worried for you.
Oh, Mamma, Scamp hurt his leg. I was taking him to the veterinary surgeon and he jumped right out of my arms. I spent all this time He came home. Oh, you clever little pet.
I am curious to know how he injured himself.
Oh, well, if you'll excuse me, I must go and lie down. The walk has quite tired me out.
She seems quite well.
Too well.
Surprisingly well.
Soon you'll believe my innocence, my darling. Soon you'll come for me.
Goodness gracious, how awful.
What is it, Mamma?
A child has died. Sidney Baxter, age 7, of Albion Villas. Believed poisoned.
How dreadful. Oh, I wish my work were as fine as yours, Mamma. Oh, good morning, Mrs. Boding.
I've just been to market and I've heard the most dreadful news. Mrs. Herbert, do you remember she called upon us when we first came here?
Yes.
Well, her little nephew died in the night.
Yes, it's already in the newspaper, Mrs. Boding.
They're saying it's poison.
Let us not talk any more about it. Oh, I'm not expecting anyone.
It's from the doctor.
Doctor.
He left this note.
Think of it.
To me. Dr. Lovett is hardly likely to write to you, my dear.
It's no use, she's dead. You better tidy up. I have another call to make.
That will be the 4th this evening.
I think this is something we should show the police.
That's it. Strychnine, if I'm not mistaken. Well, Bartlett, we'll be taking you in charge.
What for? What have I done?
Well, that'll be for the court to decide, Bartlett.
They've arrested the shopkeeper.
Has he really killed 12 people? It's beyond belief.
Probably more than that by now, my dear. They haven't completed the list yet.
James?
Hmm?
James, the chocolate that upset me came from Bartlett's. Were we perhaps a little hasty?
Hasty?
Well, I've been wondering if we were wrong. Did we make a mistake about Miss Edmonds? Perhaps we should apologize to her.
No. I'm afraid an apology wouldn't be enough for Miss Edmonds. Or her mother.
Them men broke it.
Go away, child.
Where's his other lady?
Other lady?
The one that gives me a penny.
A penny?
Yes, you know, for changing her chocolates.
I don't know what you're talking about.
When I was a little girl, I used to love cooking. We had a cook and she used to let me make things, fudge and little cakes.
You're welcome here too, Miss Chrissy.
Am I really? Oh, how kind you both are. Oh, Mama, I'm helping cook. I'm going to make a cake.
Run along then, Scan.
Is anything the matter, Mrs. Edmonds?
No, nothing at all, Mrs. Boding.
Well.
It doesn't mean anything. It's nothing to do with Christiana.
This is very much worse than Margate. She'll have to be put away now.
But Dr. Lovett says
Dr. Lovett will certify her when he sees this.
You don't know how dreadful those places are, or you wouldn't say it. You're wrong. You must be wrong.
I wish I were.
Not an asylum. Not after all these years. Not an asylum. My poor son died in one. My darling husband was locked away for 20 years. At the end, I couldn't visit him. It was so terrible. I couldn't even bear to visit him.
You were always too tender-hearted. I have had to be hard. And now we have no choice.
We have. There's always a choice. We'll move again.
Oh, running, always running. It'll happen again, Mrs. Edmonds. You know that.
We'll move today to Weymouth. No one knows us there. We'll start packing now.
She's killed 12 people.
She hasn't. You mustn't say it. I won't listen. The shopkeeper killed them.
I'm innocent. I had nothing to do with it.
Look, Bartlett, for the last time, all we want to know is, how did you manage to dispose of the stuff?
I wish you'd tell me something. Why on earth would I want to kill my customers? Making a living out of them is hard enough. Why kill them?
Come on, Doctor.
Inspector! Come back! Doctor! I've remembered something! Doctor! Inspector! Come back!
moving house, miss. Oh, you silly girl, we're doing nothing of the sort.
Christiana, go back to your room and start getting your things together.
Mama? Mama, we're not moving, are we?
We are, dear, and you must help. There's no time for argument.
Well, I won't go. I won't. He'll come for me soon.
Oh, don't talk nonsense. Goodness, there's so much to do.
It's not nonsense. All my life you've always spoiled everything for me. You and Mrs. Boding.
Don't be silly, dear. We haven't known Mrs. Boding all your life. Have we, Mrs. Boding?
Then technically we'll be here at 6.
Oh, goodness, we'll never be ready.
I won't. I love him, and we'll be together forever and ever.
Go to your room, Christiana, and lie down.
I won't. I'm
Mrs.
tired of being
Boding.
told what to do. I'm going out to see him. He'll forgive me. I'll forgive him.
Love you, doesn't it? Going to him, are you? Like some crazy animal?
I'm going to him. He loves me, and I'm going. And
You're going to your room.
I'll kill you.
You have experience. We'll give you a dose that'll keep you quiet until we get to Weymouth.
No, you're not going to take me out of the
Behind
house
this
like a
bottle.
roller.
Give that to me, do you hear me? Give that to me.
Now what are you going to do, Boding?
I'm going to teach you a lesson. Remember for the rest of your life, little... Get up. Oh! 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 Ah!
Christiana, one moment, please. If you'd reported your wife's sickness, you know none of this would have happened.
You can't measure madness quite so
Dear,
easily.
we'll be together for always and
Edmonds.
always and always, and you won't let them take
Please.
me to Weymouth, will
Miss
you?
Edmonds, please.
Oh, I brought you this. A present for your dear wife.
I have to question you, Miss Edmonds.
Let's get her home, for heaven's sake. Come, Miss Edmonds.
You must call me Chrissy. Everybody I love calls me Chrissy. Yes, Papa calls me Chrissy.
Inspector, sway quickly.
Mama! Mama! Dr. Beard is here. We're to be married. To be married. Aren't you pleased?
And Mrs. Boding?
Oh, she may come to the wedding if she likes. We're to honeymoon in Italy, you know. The sun shines the whole year in Italy.
Tell me, Miss Edmonds, what is in that parcel?
Parcel?
That one, Chrissy.
Oh, a little present. Yes, a cake I made. A special and particular present for... Oh, who did I make it for, Mama?
Would you leave us, Dr. Beard, just for a moment? It will hurt me to lose you, Chrissy. Hurt me terribly. I'll miss you.
Well, it won't be for long. We shall soon come home from Italy, and you and I and Papa. See? It's a little cake. Oh, you had it. I had to open a new one. I made it for her, Pa's wife. His wife. But I'm his wife.
Then you eat it, Chrissy.
Cook let me use all the best things. You aren't angry with me about getting married, about deciding all on my own?
No, dear, I'm not angry if that's what you want. I just want you to be happy. We all have to make decisions on our own, Chrissy, avoid them as we will. Eat it, darling.
Do you like that, Mama? I made it for... Who did I make it for?
Yourself, Chrissy.
It's my wedding cake. It's not nice. I shall go and get my wedding gown.
I must speak to you, Miss Edmonds.
I'm going to fetch my wedding gown. Papa must see it. My wedding gown. I shall be so beautiful. It's white with orange blossom and a veil and... My wedding gown.